Hey guys, thanks for coming out.
It's Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Everyone's still drunk and hungover, but thanks for making it out here. I really appreciate it. John D'Elia, one of the founders of TV, cannot be here, but as we would say, on our dais today, dais means like panel, I guess. I'm going to introduce one by one. At the end, we have, they are the Game Chasers. Billy Hudson and Jay Hatfield. In the yellow cap, you know him as JewWario. You can play the series. Justin Carmichael. He likes games. He likes history. He's Lauren Caruso, the gaming historian. Next up, the man, the myth, the 16-bit gem legend, Joey DeSanta. And finally, I need no introduction, but well, anyway, Pat Daughtry. So we thought we'd start off. Have you heard of the series called the Video Game Years? It is the greatest retro gaming show on the internet, and DeSanta is a part of it. It goes over the history, the culture, the cool stuff that happened year after year. We're up to 1981. We started in '77. Here's an exclusive sneak peek for part of episode coming out next week from 1981, part 3, I believe. You guys want to learn about Donkey Kong? It's a almost finished segment. There's just missing titles of who the people are. They recognize most of the people. And Shane Lewis is here from Retroware TV as well. He does a great series called Re-Res.
And he's Canadian.
He's yeah!
I'm a gamer down the road.
You're welcome.
So we'll do a Q&A, we'll do a challenge later, but we're going to start off with this Game episode. Guys ready? Video Game Years! Donkey Kong. Guess what my favorite early arcade game is? Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong was the first successful arcade game by Nintendo, but it certainly wasn't the first. In fact, Raiders Go came out before Donkey Kong, and that was by Nintendo, the arcade.
Nintendo's first arcade machine, the submarine game, was a actual total failure.
Knowing that they needed to try something different, the company president Hiroshi Yamauchi had Shigeru Miyamoto design a game that they could convert those old unsold copies of Radar Scope into.
Actually, I was hired to run the warehouse, and the biggest chore initially was to take all of the Radar Scope arcade games. We had 2,000 big refrigerator-sized boxes and convert them all over to Donkey Kong.
Most Donkey Kong arcades are white and blue in color. So every once in a while you come across one that might be red in color, and that's simply this old Radar Scope cabinet that they retrofitted into a new Donkey Kong arcade machine.
And those red cabinets are probably some of the rarest arcade cabinets you can get, actually.
A lot of people kind of wonder what Donkey Kong means, what the meaning behind it. Now, the influence of Donkey Kong, Shigeru Miyamoto admitted that the big influence for Donkey Kong was Beauty and the Beast and Popeye. In fact, Nintendo was trying to go after the Popeye franchise, and they couldn't, so they decided to create their own characters.
He was trying to come up with some sort of synonym for stubborn monkey, this stubborn monkey. And he was looking up English words. He saw donkey. It's kind of a synonym. Donkeys are stubborn, and made that direct translation a little strange, but sure, it's a donkey, the donkey monkey.
You know, this is basically Donkey Kong. It's going to be like a crazy ape.
That's a stubborn monkey. You stubborn monkey. You're a Donkey Kong, aren't you?
Now people look at Donkey Kong and say, you know, it's a Mario game, but back then, the guy was just known as Jumpman. You know, it wasn't Mario. Mario wasn't even around then.
Yeah.
And they wanted to say Princess Peach in the game. They were saying his, I guess it was his girlfriend Pauline.
Jumpman was renamed Mario, which is all about today. Mario was actually named Mario because it was the name of Nintendo's landlord at the time.
Not only was his original name not Mario, he wasn't the fun-loving plumber that we know and love today. He was actually a carpenter, and Donkey Kong was his pet, who he had mistreated, which is why Donkey Kong busted out of his cage and started kidnapping Pauline all the time.
If I was a tech girl locked up too, I would get revenge on my owner by kidnapping his girlfriend. So I don't think it's a big deal just throwing down, barrels at Jumpman. Screw you, Jumpman. That's what you get. I'm gonna take your girl.
One of the, I think, the biggest things that drew people in is it was the first game to to technically have a story to it.
It starts off with a beginning of the story, and it then proceeds into the action, and then there's actually an ending to the story. You know, that sort of narrative structure, which is present in most video games today. Again, it did not exist before he introduced it with Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong was one of the very first platforming games. Space Panic came out before that, but it actually introduced jumping to video games, something we do to this day. Jumping.
No, I thought you meant every day.
No, jump. Right.
Okay.
If you climb up the ladder, the barrel's going to come down the ladder. If you try to avoid it, then the barrel's just going to travel. It's going to drop down. It's going to come over. It's going to kill you.
There's 4 separate screens in the arcade version of Donkey Kong. Now, the one, Cement Factory, Mud Pies, whatever you want to call it, is admitted for almost every home port of the game, including all of Nintendo's official ports. But that's kind of unheard of for back then. A lot of times you saw maybe some slight base changes, or just a repeating screen that got faster and harder. But no, there's distinct separate levels.
You gotta kind of memorize the little quirks of the game, you know. There are certain kind of ways you can just barely, you know, catch the edges of barrels and so forth, and you're just instantly dead. Donkey Kong is hard. It's really, really difficult.
When I see like Weeby and Mitchell play Donkey Kong, I'm like, screw you. Go to hell. How can you play that good? It's ridiculous.
The structure of the conveyor in the Pies level.
Yeah.
That was probably the first time we all first had a conveyor belt.
And that screws you because the first wave, you don't see that level.
Yeah.
So when you get to it, you're like, what the hell is this? And you don't know what to do.
So you gotta know exactly how to time those jumps, when to leave that hammer be, when to climb up the ladders, when to give up and go play Pac-Man.
Shut up! Shut up! I don't have the life for that. I want to go take a bath.
There was a competition between Joey, Pat, and I at MagFest, and Joey falsely claimed that he won, but I have a picture photo proof of that I won in the competition. I won. I did it. I got it done.
There's a big lawsuit between Universal Studios and Nintendo.
Doesn't Donkey Kong, didn't they rip off King Kong? Shouldn't we be suing them at this point?
Universal Studios felt there was a copyright infringement with King Kong and the trademark they have there.
Here we are, Universal Studios, we're huge. Here is this little company. It's not Nintendo of today, it's this little company with a handful of employees. We're gonna go in, we're gonna sue them, and they're gonna be so scared that they're gonna give us a piece of this Donkey Kong action. It's what's gonna happen.
But the stupidest part of Universal is this. Okay, so King Kong comes out in the 30s, and then Universal wants to do a remake in 75, right? And RKO Pictures says, no, you can't do that. And Universal successfully argues in 75, 6 years beforehand, that it is in the public domain.
They find out that Universal did not actually own any copyrights to King Kong.
6 years later, they have the balls to go and tell Nintendo that they own something that they don't.
Long story short, Nintendo won, and also Universal found out they didn't own the rights to King Kong. Oopsie!
And guess who won the case for Nintendo? A little lawyer by the name of Kirby. I wonder if Nintendo, kind of contributed to that by making a game character out of it.
Maybe. That's one of the segments of 1981, part 3. And thanks to anyone who supported the Indiegogo campaign to keep the show alive. Really appreciate it. And we also have a DVD pre-order going on for the first 2 years online as well. But we hope to get these out quicker. We want to get through like a year of every month through a year, like 45 minutes every month, which is hard to do. The amount of editing involved in that.
And I know everyone keeps clamoring, so when we get an 85 already? When we get into Super Nintendo? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
We want to go in order. The first few years, it took a while to work the bugs out, the kinks of how to do this properly. Make it look that good now.
At least now we're out of the 70s talking about the ATF 1000.
Yeah, and the Coleco handheld. And just flipping LED lights, so cool. So, other than that, though, we can do whatever. We can do a Q&A right now. We probably shows, whatever you guys want to do for this,
Any words of wisdom?
We do have an Ask Frank. It's not a retro show. You want to show it now? You guys want to? You guys ever hear Bass Frank? Yeah. It's not a retro show, but I figured, you know, why not? It'll wake everyone up. Okay, I'll play it now.
Let's go.
So this is Ask Frank, Volume 7. Enjoy.
Still talking about sports, trees, birds and bees. It's time to ask Frank.
How did you get Nintendo World Championships in the first place?
I didn't. You're mixing your metaphors there. You're asking, that's a Pat question, not a Frank question.
What is the best deal you've ever found at a swap meet?
Best deal I ever found at a swap meet. I don't know, maybe that watercolor right there.
Can you offer any good gardening tips for us in our Canadian climate?
Well, annuals are good because you're going to have a growing season as opposed to where I live where things grow all year round. So if you're going to get perennials or shrubs, you have to have something that's going to survive the winter.
Dear Frank, do you know where I can buy some crate paperbacks of old school Captain Marvel?
Wow. Yes, the Comic-Con, that's where I see they have a lot of booths, vendors, whatever. That's all they have is trade paperbacks, and maybe you can come across some there.
Which team in the NHL is your favorite?
I really don't have to say, but I guess I have to say the Rangers, because I grew up in northern New Jersey, and that was the only team that was on when I was a kid, so I guess if I was going to follow a team, it would be the Rangers.
Hey Frank, do you like Genesis, the band? Personally, I love the Peter Gabriel years.
Yeah, well, you like Genesis, that's what you like, but I don't really like it that much, so I don't have a favorite.
Frank, have you become more popular than Pat?
I don't know. I guess to some people, which is weird but true, and some of the people, I mean, guys enjoy this, you gotta get out more. You know what I mean?
Frank, would you rather be attacked by 10 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Duck.
And duck-sized horses.
How cool would it be if you and that Dodongo guy from Game Chasers would hang out and be yourselves in a show? That would be awesome!
Okay, I don't know who that is. No, okay, I don't know the guy, but if you think so, I'm up for it.
What is your stance on dubstep?
What is dubstep? I don't know anything about it, so I don't have a stance.
Nice night for a walk.
What?
Has the video game ever scared you?
No.
How smooth are you with the ladies?
I used to be, but now I'm just an old man. Yeah, I'm a talker, but I'm so old now it doesn't matter.
Ranch or barbecue sauce?
On what?
There you go, that's it.
Yeah, we do Q&A. You guys want to raise your hands?
Questions? Yeah, just raise your hand wherever you are, we'll yell answers at you.
Retroware, any of our shows, collecting, whatever.
Smash Brothers on screen right now, that's not a hint, that's what's coming later.
No, not at all. Front row.
I know, Pat, you were saying, making comments, asking your audience if you want more content versus edited, polished things. And I can speak that I want more content. I'm enjoying the vlogs of the Game Chasers, and that kind of thing would be appreciated, as well as from the rest of you guys too.
Okay, so more stated that more content, more good
I do have a
content.
question on top of that. Just kind of like, how do you know Ian and how do you know Frank?
Ian I met when I moved to San Diego. He was working in the video game shop, and the video games was the best used game shop in Southern California. And Frank, I want to keep that a little secret because I might do a video explaining it a little bit in the future. Origin story. Yeah, like Wolverine origins. Yeah, some Frank origins. You know? So Frank begins.
I'm going to turn that first comment into something of a question, kind of. So it's basically a statement on Pat had put up a, when I started to distract me, put out a question asking if people prefer a lot more content that might be kind of not rushed, but maybe not as polished, versus the longer form, it's going to take a while, maybe some months to complete. And we have a few different ways of going here on this panel, so we can talk about what we personally like. I personally do a lot of more polished, like half-hour-long videos that take months and months to do. I'm starting to realize I should probably get away from that, and I'm going to start doing 60-bit gems that are more like 10 minutes long and such, and some other types of videos as well, because it really does upset me when, you know, people are, it's like, hey, what's your next video? I'm like, I'm so sorry. Because me personally, I know, Pat, you do this basically full time. This is more of a hobby for me. I do have a day job. Well, unfortunately, I have a day job in this economy, but and that's just how I feel. But I'm trying to go a little bit shorter form.
It's sort of like a guilt speech you just did.
What, on you or?
No, it's like, I don't want to put any videos, but I'm going to start doing it.
No,
I've only had one video in 2013, I know.
Yeah.
How do you guys have a vlog, right?
Yeah, people ask.
Actually, I put up the blog for that very reason. People were wanting more stuff, more content, and of course, the pictures are taking so long to edit. You know, sometimes there's 19 years before each episode. You know, people are wanting more content, and so we're always trying to give people as much as we can. Yeah, 19 years. It's sometimes very long.
Norm, you take years in between videos.
I did, yeah. No, I actually, I've tried to work every day on stuff, but I actually have a friend of mine that wants to get into some videos, and he actually used to be a game developer, so that might be fun. So we're working on something, maybe a weekly show. See what happens.
And Shane, you have weekly episodes, or at least near weekly?
He's good.
Yeah.
I actually do have weekly episodes,
Okay.
and that's because we're Canadian and we're efficient over here.
I really want to get into a pissing match. But they're really well polished too. How do you find the or are you just really efficient? Is that the secret?
I don't sleep.
Okay. Justin, you put out a lot of, like you have a lot of variety of shows like you can cook this and things like that. So.
Yeah, sometimes it can be tough to figure out which videos you're going to actually make. We've got so many different ones that I want to do, but I'm trying to see if I can, you know, if since people like more content, you know, well, heck, you know, I try and do a Friday, a Friday stream, which doesn't always work, but it sometimes does. But, you know, whenever I can, I try to make good videos.
And I know I put out at least a video every 2 weeks, whether it's 3 months and then playing Pat the NES Punk episode or whatever. So I want to do more really, but people don't realize that some of us have day jobs. I have other stuff I'm working on. I have a very large written assignment I'm working on that is kind of secret right now. So it's like that takes my time too. So people sometimes just
And Justin mentioned streams and something
that's streams on Retroware TV Live.
Where any of us can, it's like one account, you can all just pop on. And
there's usually almost like 4 days a week. A lot of the weeks that's someone from Retroware, whether it's David, the Saturnology, just sits down and reviews, or you know, Joey hops on.
Yeah.
He does the DJ thing when he just plays different.
The humans are coming, which is the Retroware house band.
They have a house band, Retroware TV. No other website has a house band.
They're amazing.
They're amazing, and they're going to be playing Manifest on any stage.
I don't think we're supposed to say that yet.
Let's say that, right?
Sure.
Don't tell anyone.
Talking about streams, do you find streams are better for basically keeping people, you know, while they're doing video content, or does it help gather new people?
Depends what your goal is, what you're doing with it. Like a lot of people, like Justin does, like probably just to keep people interested and engaged, right?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely get the regulars who come every single time and they actually, you know, miss it when you don't do one. Sometimes I get new viewers. I don't know how. Usually because I usually tweet it. But not everybody follows my tweets, but I still sometimes get new people. So I actually have no idea how I get new people coming to the streams or anything.
Actually, yeah, if you're doing more impromptu stuff, I think that's just more of like, hey, if you follow me on Twitter and I beef off on the stream, it's kind of like a bonus, keeping people involved. I have a non-Retroware show called Echo Screen Live that is usually bi-weekly, but it's usually a set time every other Wednesday. And we, Daniel, the Commodore, my friend and grandparent, he was probably talking about classic RPGs or something in the hall. No, but that's a regular set time, and we actually do get people every week to say, hey, it's the first time I've seen the stream.
I don't watch it.
He doesn't watch it. But regardless, other people.
But there's also like big event streams. Like every year I do the NES 24-hour NES Marathon charity, and that gets there's usually like 800 or 1,000 people watching it at one time for 24 hours. So that's like an event. There's a guy I met that meeting from that first. So sometimes it gets out there. By the way, it's coming back to the 4th year this October, the 4th annual 24-hour NES Marathon. I'm tired of seeing that. Thank you.
This is my 5th year marathon,
No, Joey does a great marathon too. Last year he did Super Nintendo. The year before that he did CDI for the Cancer Society. It's a great talk too.
I was wondering what your guys' favorite NES black box game, maybe other than Super Mario Bros.
Favorite NES black box game? That's a toughie. There's 30 to choose from.
I can easily say Balloon Fight.
Yeah.
I like Balloon Fight. I mean, Pro Wrestling is great. Pro Wrestling is actually developed by the same people who did the Fire Pro Wrestling series, which was huge in Japan on Super Famicom, Sega Saturn. It was probably the best wrestling series for like 15 years. I love pro wrestling. I love Excite Bike to this day. I think it's a very engaging, it's difficult, it's challenging, it's fun, but it's simple at the same time.
It never quite excited me.
Don't look at me when you say exciting. That's just different.
That's it.
I think they all kind of suck.
What?
All right, they're off the site after this.
Yes.
He's serious.
There's a long room to say that.
It would be Excite Bike and Mario Brothers. Not Super Mario Brothers, just Mario Brothers.
I like arcade Mario Brothers. That's a challenging, fun little game.
I suppose.
Excite Bike. Excite Bike, totally. Because I've been playing Excite Bike. Excite Bike's amazing.
It's great, Excite Bike.
Excite Bike.
You're an old man down there. Back in my 2600 days. All right, next question. Pink hat.
Outside of the video game years, are there any other prospects for any Retroware mashups at all?
Any prospects?
Yeah, we're working on
We come up with really weird ideas. We come up with ideas like, let's do a show about the worst video game review ever. The problem is we don't live video shows, so it's hard to like make it happen. Video game viewers take so much time to put that together to do that. But we do have other ideas, but it's like, is it worth investing some time into the other ones?
We came up with a show this weekend. It's a take on Degrassi High. It's Retroware High.
Yes.
And Joe is the physics teacher, and Billy and Jay are the jocks in the back that throw on the
So, but
Pat has AIDS in that show.
There's podcasts. There's like 3 or 4 podcasts everywhere. I know I talked about doing a podcast with Joey once in a while. I never really happened. But we can do it. I mean, it's just like, it's the time.
We do stuff with streaming now too, and we generally show up on the game cases every once in a while because we're unfortunately around them every few while.
Shane and Leo have worked together a few times and hopefully again in the future.
Yeah, Leo Laserfrog, you guys don't remember his real name, so I'm going to say that out loud.
Yeah.
But Laserfrog and I, he's from England, so he's far off. And we worked together on videos. He did this one really awesome video about LucasArts after they closed down. And like, they really hit us a lot because we both played LucasArts games all the time when we were kids. So when they closed, he sent me this really heartfelt, like, MP3 piece of dialogue, and he turned it into this amazing video. And in between, he asked me to throw a little bit of a video sequence in there, so I actually shot something up in Guelph and I sent it over to him, and that got into the video. So we do stuff like that, but I can't fly to England to work with him in person.
England and Canada, it's like the same country.
Commonwealth, Queen.
You get a dollar coin, $2 coins.
They didn't know what Tim Hortons was.
I call it Tom Hortons.
Tim Hortons, it's like a fisherman's, like, you know, restaurant.
It's like a Long John Silver.
Long John Silver. All right, next question.
Any other questions?
Excuse me. Just a question as actually a new viewer about the video game years. So you said each new episode is going to be like a year in particular games.
We split up into 4.
Yeah. So I get the point of curiosity I'd have is how many games are roughly would be covered per episode, and how are they chosen? Is it like are they historical groundbreakers or just the really popular ones?
It's a combination of historical value, ones that are popular, ones that are really quirky and strange enough. It's a combination. I would say once we hit the 80s, we had no problem once we got to like 1980. All of a sudden, the 80s when arcades started to blow up. Pac-Man.
That's when we started. Pat and I go and we run through, like, we have
huge list of games.
Reference books and things like that. We just pour through for a given year, like, hey, well, and we make a big master list of everything that could possibly be interesting.
Yeah, we start cutting.
Related to video games, and then we cut. And so before, in the 70s, when we had stuff like the ABF 1000, okay, we need something to talk about, sure.
The 77 and 78 were rough. After that, though.
Now we're getting an argument.
Yeah, so basically, the way we came up with it, so basically, I think now we probably do about 20 topics, 16 to 20 topics, because we do a lot of like minute arcade breaks now. Like, a lot of these arcade games are really boring, but you can't spend more than a minute on like Lunar Lander.
Yeah,
so you gotta get through it in a minute.
So maybe we'll talk about things like the Paperboy for a minute, you know, whatever. But the big ones like Donkey Kong,
It'll be like 4 minutes.
Super Mario Brothers, yeah, 5 minutes max.
Yeah.
So it kind of varies.
Yeah, so we have roughly 45 minutes to fill for each year, so we have to maneuver.
And it's not just video games, because we want to talk about things like some of the magazines, some of the TV, movies that are video game related as well. So it's just trying to capture the video game zeitgeist during these years, and it's going to be some of the more popular stuff that people will remember. Although, and talk about ideas for shows that may or may not get off the ground if we have time. We have a lot of cut content and a lot of spare footage, and we're thinking, hey, maybe we can do like I Love the 80s Strikes Back. We can do the video game years, Extra Life. Everything can go back and hit certain good years. It's like 1982, for example, was a huge year for video games. Tons of stuff came out.
83, I think for 83, we actually shot what we're going to fill in for 83. Yeah. So we're going to cut like 2 of these that we know we can't fit. We want to try to stay with the TV format, but on DVD, you can see it on DVD or a year down the line. But so far it's worked out. So far I think we've got a good combination of different cross-section of PC gaming, handheld stuff, arcades, consoles.
And speaking of DVDs, aren't Game Changers or
Game Changers have really good Indiegogo the pre-orders of DVDs. You want to that?
Talk about that?
We sold more than Pat, that's all we care about.
That's okay. I would suggest them do a DVD a year ago, but that's okay. You can take a shot at me.
We still sold more than Pat, and that's all we really care about.
So that's
No, it's
Kickstarter or Indiegogo?
We did Indiegogo.
That's going on right now.
Right now, correct. You go in there and pre-order, so pre-order DVDs, DVD t-shirts, combos, and I don't even remember.
It's gonna have a lot of good bonus content.
It's gonna have a ton of bonus content. Like what you,
Thanks for selling our DVD for us then.
No problem.
Apparently we don't know, but no, it's gonna have a ton of bonus content. It's gonna have commentaries. It's gonna have blooper reels, and it's gonna have a bonus episode from footage of season 1 that was never actually aired in the episode. It's gonna have a documentary, It's gonna, it's just season 1, but yeah, it's gonna have a lot of content. So if you're interested remotely, go check it out.
I'll just find a torrent of it after it comes out.
Let's do that.
I think we have 2 more questions.
So we'll be out here like at least 5 minutes early.
This is a question for Pat. I'm kind of curious about how you got with Game Control and the World Championship.
How I got what?
Yeah, you got with Game Control.
How did I contact James? Well, James and I have been friends since we met at SGC 2010, and we hung out at Comic-Con a few times, and we always wanted to come in with some sort of idea. And when the gold card, sort of came to you, I don't know, looking at you weird. When the gold card sort of came, almost dropped in my lap, I said, hey, James, got the gold card, let's do a video. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, that's basically what happened. So I wrote like a big, long, like master script. He wrote a script, we sort of started combining ideas from both and cut it down. Because originally, my idea was like 25, maybe a 25-minute video. It was really long. And then he had different ideas, and we settled on that script, what you saw. But it was really cool collaborating with James on that, because me and him sort of have the same sort of comic sensibility. We agreed like 95% of the time on how it should go. The ending we disagreed on. The ending, I wanted more of a Pat style ending. He wanted a nerd style ending. We'll just say, so it was his video the other day, so he wanted on that. But everything else we agreed like right down the line. It was really fun working. In the back, last question in the back. You, sir.
As general question, where are your favorite places for hunting down, like, I know specific games you probably want to check, like eBay and stuff, but just general retro games?
Favorite places to hunt down retro games? Let's go from the end, real quick.
Top of the list is always going to be flea markets. You know, that's still where you're going to find the best deals. Other than that, it's going to be thrift stores and pawn shops, and then last resort, retro video game stores.
We don't check eBay at all. We look at things.
There's a place that I usually get my a lot of my Japanese games called Japan Game Store online, and that actually will be plugged in the upcoming this week's You Can Play This. So yeah, watch for that and find the link, and if you're into import games, go there.
It's swap meets, flea markets in my area, but actually the classifieds at my job. I post out there, hey, I buy old games, and I get a ton of emails.
Wow, that's why that's a job.
Value Village around here. Seriously? Like, they throw out way too much stuff we don't care about. I walked in there and I found 3 rare consoles that I've never seen before, just being sold in the back. I mean, they just don't mark anything. So.
Which 3?
Sorry?
Which 3 games?
GameWave, which is a Canadian-only console. If you guys never heard of it, that's how rare it is. Nuon, which is a DVD-playing video game console. And then I've also seen a lot of like knockoff. It's like they're called Dendies. They're Russian Nintendos, and they're like they just have them lined up because nobody knows what they are because they usually have Russian or Japanese writing on them. And as soon as they see that, they just think, "Oh, it's crap." So they put it in the back and put a $5 mark on it.
Soviet Russia, Nintendo plays huge.
Nice 25-year-old joke.
I'm going to go a little different and say sometimes going to cons, places like, you guys have found some good deals here.
We did, Joe.
Shut up. Yeah, you're welcome to watch your stuff while you jerk. My personal favorite con been to for such deals is Portland Retro Gaming Expo in Oregon that we went to last year, but we're going to do again this year. Yeah. It's, if you are into retro games, if you can find your way out there, it's definitely worth it. It's mostly, you have some like store vendors there, but it's a lot of collectors who have crap they're trying to unload. So you're not gonna catch someone slipping like Little Sam's $55 or anything, but it's people who know what yes, it's people who know what they have and are willing to give you good deals. And I think we all, Billy J and Pat and I went there last year. We all came back with giant boxes.
I had to get stuff shipped back. Yeah, I had to ship like 2 boxes.
So if you look hard enough, some cons are good.
Cons are good. There are still forums you can go on digital pressers and trade with people. Usually that's good stuff. They'll still sell below eBay prices to save on it. They save on eBay costs, you save on the wins. And swap meets, of course. So basically, we're going to end up the panel. We got to do something. Okay, real quick.
Cash converters. They're independently run by people. They usually don't care about the prices that they're putting out. Sometimes they're just about things that are really cheap. This is the rarest PSP game ever made. There's only 500 in the wild. $5 on cash converters.
And he did a video on it, so search for it.
Yeah,
So every panel we do Smash Brothers, 2-on-2, Team Retroware versus the audience. We are undefeated. We're about 5 or 6-0, one or the other.
So we need 2 really good. Oh, I see.
There's 2 right there. They're ready to go.
Already got them wrong.
All right, you're going to play as 3 and 4. You think these choices are good? You're going to use the crappy ones then. All right.
Sure.
You can What do you want? What are your names today?
Chris.
Andy. Chris and Andy. Chris and Andy are proud actually hung out there.
Good luck, sir.
So, okay, so we're going to do 2-on-2, 5 stock.
No items?
With items. What is this? It's a party game. One of the audience so decide items or no items?
No hearts. No hearts.
No, what is this?
I agree. I'm sorry, what stock? 5. Full balls only.
Final destination.
Final destination Fox only. No items.
Team damage on. Team damage on.
Yeah.
Okay. Stay select. I don't think we have items selected.
Who's yeah, who's 1 and who's 2?
We're red.
Okay.
Kirby. Yes. High roll? High roll or red? High roll. I'll do high roll. High roll? Yeah. Good luck, gentlemen.
And the battle begins. This is Pat Mario. That's how it's 2-on-2. Drew is... Who's Drew? Drew is playing as this. And Pat is playing
Huge comeback. That's how it's going. Still holding.
Upset here.
Oh, it's 1v4.
She's asked Kirby. Please ask Kirby. She asked Kirby.
Hey, put it with the broken remote.
With the broken
I'm so glad y'all came in this time.
Okay. What's the sign that stands for nation sign? That's my copy.
Yeah, we should sign it. We'll sign it.
We have a few minutes left.
We'll sign it for you guys.
So we gotta go. All right. We gotta go. So anyone want to finish up? All right, guys. Thank you.